Alright, hello, welcome in, stargazers. How are you all doing today? Hello, Daho. Hello, KLMX. Hello, Welp. Hello, Burger. Hello, Janu. Hello, Sim Zero. Hello, Lillian. Hello, Star Baker. Hello, Armatox. Hello, Lilith. Hello, Weston Fox. Hello, Aqua. Welcome in, Hello. Why are you already throwing bombs here? Why? Hello, greetings. What? Afternoon fireworks? What? Hello, welcome in. I hope you are all doing well today. As Garfield would say, Mondays. We learned from Irium. Oh, jeez. Well, Lilith didn't learn that from Irium, I'll tell you that much. A bit too excited for the 31st? Do you have a fun New Year's party? Or are you just excited about New Year's in general? Oh, are you just replying to people who are adding fireworks too early? I was gonna, yeah, it's a little bit early for that. Is anyone excited for the new year? I know there's people who really hate the new year and it makes me sad because I find the new year to be like the best time to sort of get a little bit of a refresh. And, I mean, you know, at the end of the year, it's probably gonna go the same as it always has. It's a little bit rough, and we always say, oh, that was a bad year, or whatever. But the beginning of the year is, like, a chance for new growth opportunities, new ideas, new concepts, and I think that's good. I think a little bit of a reset is always a good thing. A little bit of column A, B, and C. Bombs are a stargazer tradition. We mine the sulfur from the slightly less deep burrows. Oh. New bookshelf is meant to be showing up on the 31st. Ooh, that's nice. Speaking of bookshelves. The irony is, we have a few different things that we can do today. One of them actually involves a bookshelf, ironically. Hello, Vessa. Why are we dreading the new year? No. Hello, Trion. Welcome in. Can't wait for the new year. 2025 didn't sound like a real year. 2026 does. What do you mean it didn't sound like a real year? Your dog hates fireworks, you're not too fond of it. That is very fair. I hope the best for the pupper. Oh no, what? What won't do? Duh, what are you thinking here? Where's your head going? 2025 is too clean a number? Must be fake? I mean, that's why I liked it. I like clean numbers. 5 is a good number. 5 is a really nice number. It's very clean. I think it's funny. I like the numbers that I like odd numbers. Nothing, just my yap I had this morning, giant dragon which eats gunpowder. Let's hope that we don't have that situation. I like 2025. It is a nice clean number. 25 is a good number. Alright. 2026 is gonna be a great year for Godzilla, between -0 and all the cool merch coming. That's cool. 2026 is also when we should get second season of Free Run. That's fun. That's always nice. 2026 doesn't sound real? Wait, you just said that 2025 did- oh wait, no, sorry, Welp did. Hello, Welp. I didn't say hi to you earlier, I don't think. I had 5s too often in physics class. I do not like it anymore unless some 0s are attached. Fair enough. And, yeah. But, yeah. Happy for you, Daho! That is not something that I'm necessarily, like... yeah. I'll see you guys in 2027 for that. How about that? Sword Art Season 2 was updated in 2025? Oh yeah, forgot about that. I remember, what was it? There was, what was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying now, I lost my train of thought. Anyway. Alright. So today, I'll show you the quick progress that I made on the badges. I'm still playing around with color. I'm still trying to figure out, like, which direction I want things to go, but I think we have it, like, mainly figured out. I would like your input on some things. The main thing with sub-badges is that generally you want to try to keep it within one singular color scheme, and I am having a little bit of a hard time keeping it into one color scheme. It's like, it's all a little bit rainbowy, but it's also not, like, consistent enough, so we're working on that. And then I told you guys in the Starlight chat channel that, that we have some different food discussions, different food things that we can come up with together. That might be fun. And then real quick, I told Armortox that I could help him real quick with a little side project struggle. So this goes for anyone. This is not just for Armortox. If any of you guys are interested in learning more about how to draw, if any of you guys want tips on drawing or things like that, I'm not good at trying to give advice in the Discord and then, like, taking time and then doing, like, paintovers. I used to do that. I can't do that anymore. But if you come to me with questions that I can do on stream, that I can help other people with, that we can all learn together, I'm more than happy to do that. Mondays are chill and silly and can generally just be open to a lot of different things. Especially not if we're not, like, starting a new game like a Cheese Moon type of thing, if we're just doing art, then that is a great time to ask me for any art advice, tips and tricks, things like that. I'm happy to help. Alright. With that being said, Armortox, I'm going to have your work on screen. Is that okay with you? Glad you can be here today. I'm off Monday for once. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I'll just take a little minute or two. Won't that stop you from focusing on what you need to do? I mean, it's no secret that I'm not, like, the most extremely productive on Monday streams regardless. If I can get a little bit of ideation done, then that is still productive enough for me. Monday is the best day because stars to listen to whatever ridiculous ideas we have. It's like, I know that when it comes to any form of artwork, I do better off stream in general, but I also like being on stream with you guys drawing. So, no, if it's not like... I have tried in the past many a time to do quiet work stream session, where I just say, okay, the live stream is going to be to get work done. And I don't think I've done that once. I don't think I've ever had a successful quiet work stream session. So, I've kind of given up on the idea of a quiet work stream session. Therefore, it's more of an open-ended, casual cafe. Kitsune cafe, as you could say. Alright. With that being said, let me jump into our main scene here. Let me just quickly show you guys what we're doing with the sub-badges, and then we'll jump to Armortox's thing. Alright. There we go. So this is kind of what I started to lay out in terms of the color scheme. So I am basically going for, like, more of a Twilight-ish color. And I'm hoping that it's not all too different, that they can somewhat all blend together. It's not easy. But this would essentially be like the direction of the badges. It's funny because when I looked up examples of what other people do for badges, they're so standard. Like, no offense to anyone else who also does badge design work, but they're very, very based on, like, an existing formula that people know works. So I was trying to sort of push it out of that, but it's difficult. And I don't know how successful it is. It still needs a little bit of tweaking. But I'm glad you guys think that they're really pretty. I'm glad you guys think they're pretty. So, first month would be the Linzer cookie. Second month would be the apple. Then it would go into the cake, the feather, and so on. So yes, it does. The first 3 months start with food. I was honestly debating on just, like, making the whole thing food-themed. But I think it's interesting if we can sort of get more lore tied in as we go, right? Also, wisps technically have little eyes, and I couldn't decide if I wanted it to be on the badge or not here. Yay, food. So that's sort of what we were playing with. Hang on a sec, I realized I forgot something. Give me a sec. Hang on one moment. Alright, is that better? There you go, now you can actually see what I'm pointing at. Doesn't that help? Isn't that easier? But yeah, there we go. So I was thinking that, like, you know, Wisp idea is more abstract. And there technically is eyes, but I feel like it doesn't show up well in the sub-badge. Plus, since none of the other ones are, animate, I felt like I should just keep it the same. Aurora Borealis, second row, fourth one, yes. Yes, indeed, Aurora Borealis. I think that's the 6th one? Is there a specific reason for what goes as earlier or later in the badge order? So the way that we're considering it is it goes from, like, something general. Like, if you come to the cafe, you can pick up food. You can get, like, a little free cookie with your visit. And then you can get, like, a little bit more intense with an apple, and then cakes. And then it's a little bit more intense here. And then after 3 months, at that point, you're probably starting to learn more of the lore of Alucinari, so then you'll understand what the feather means. And then you'll sort of understand, what the wisp design means, and then you'll understand what the charm means, and the book, and then, you know, all these connections, and then it ends with the necklace, because you guys are forcing me to do that. What? Can we have a little chibi Skinner and Charmer in the corner? Oh my gosh. You know, the saddest thing to me is that, like, I adore the Aurora, I'm connected with the Aurora, I work a lot with the Aurora, and the only thing anyone ever knows about the Aurora is from The Simpsons! Nobody knows the Aurora outside The Simpsons. Oh. I like how at least 4 of these are edible. Fessa, hush. I know what you're saying. We don't all live somewhere where we can see it, Star. I mean, it's easier to see in the, from the atelier, but look, even if you've never seen it, I didn't see it for the longest time, okay? And even if you've never seen, you at least know it exists. You know it exists past The Simpsons. It wasn't invented by The Simpsons. You know it's there. You know it exists. It's not about knowing or not about Auroras. It's copy-paste. Yeah, I know, but it's the only thing people ever say. But the memes star the DNA of the soul. No one ever knows the Aurora. Oh, last year you got to see it, got some good photos. I'm glad. I'm frustrated because I got some really nice photos, and that was the previous phone before the cataclysmic event of that. I lost a lot of photos, and the Aurora photos were included in that, and I was not happy. Anyway. Everyone knows Aurora Borealis, but no one knows Aurora Australis. I feel like that's because it gets associated so much with, like, the North Pole and Christmas. Fun fact of the day, Canada was almost named Borealia to mirror Australia. Really? It's incredible. You posted some last year, so there's still some. Yeah, those are the only ones that still exist. Specifically because I posted them in the Discord, I have only retained 3. But I did get to keep those 3 because I put them in the Discord. Aurora Australis covers the weapons of mass destruction the penguins are developing. There'll be more Auroras, don't worry. I know, but, you know, they're not super, super common. And it's not the same just looking at my cape. Anyway. So, yes, Aurora is part of it. Bite the cape? That doesn't do me any good. In any form. What? Anyway, these are the sub-badge designs that we have. Does anyone have any, like, comments, critiques, concepts, things, I guess? Do they make sense? Do we need to swap them around? At this stage, they are still really flexible, to be honest. I can still make a lot of changes. You're saying you will bite the cape. It was a warning. Please do not. Rambunctious bunnies you all are! Become the Aurora, you are what you eat. Oh my gosh. Why did you pick the strawberry cake over the star one? Because I was trying to think of a way to be able to add in more color so that these sort of flowed better. I haven't really figured out how to deal with it best yet. Are they newbie-proof? Probably not. I don't think there's much in the world that's newbie-proof, let's be real. Starberry? Would that work? Would that work? I don't think that works, but... Would that work? It's like, if it was like a starfruit but as a berry? Does that work? Could that be cut evenly? Kinda looks like a banana slice. That's an interesting idea. I don't know. Star vanilla. A 5-pointed strawberry would be a starberry, and I have seen some of those. Wait, you have? Wait, this... What? It looks kind of like a cookie. Or maybe I'm hungry. I mean, there's a cookie here. Maybe the starberry looks like a sea urchin, since those are related to sea stars? Would this be like a tropical thing that you could only get in the coast? Huh. This is interesting. I feel like most things are most fruits are tropical though. But no, berries you can find in forests. Interesting. Well, I did tell you that I think I said earlier, Alucinari in general has a lot of star-shaped things in the world and a lot of motifs that are very star-shaped because it's just very, very connected to how the world functions itself. If you could make them seem more like a strawberry, it could be pretty. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean more like a strawberry? Like with more color? With more... What are you saying? I can't remember off the top of my head how that looks. It has like a white outer ridge or something, right? Can't remember. Like that? A redder red? I've seen specially shaped strawberries and they're so cool, but they're such a pain to grow. Oh, is that kind of like how you can have square watermelon? Talking about more about the form, as it was said, it seems more like a banana slice to me. Well, as long as they're rounded, right? As long as it doesn't look like it's flat. As long as it's... I don't know. Like... If it doesn't look like a slice... I mean, it could be a slice, though. I mean, you've sliced strawberries, too. Maybe you just have to make it a little sharper? The thing that makes it look like a banana is just the fact that a banana has a star shape in the center, which is the same as what a strawberry has, except with strawberry it's just a line. It's gonna feel banana-y the same way. Same process? That's really cool. I don't know how that would... Now I need to, like, try to figure out how that would look in... If we were, like, holding this thing in 3D, it would be, like... I'd have to sculpt that at some point. That's another thing that I wanted to tell you guys. I feel like at some point, maybe it would have like a point on either end. I don't know. It'd probably just be rounded. At some point next year, I really, and this is crow brain, so Vessa's probably gonna slap me. I really want to consider going back to sculpture. It's been a hot minute since I've touched sculpture-related stuff, and I kind of really, really miss it. And it's starting to really get to me, honestly. So I really want to try diving into sculpture-related stuff at some point. Some point next year. I have the seeds here, and I just realized it's kind of like what a starfish does. I don't know. Something like that. Sprays you with anti-crow spray. Cool coincidence, considering strawberry banana is a classic flavor combo. Ooh, that would be nice. Oh man, now I want to have like a strawberry and banana with like a pastry or a smoothie or something. That'd be nice. Or parfait. Oh. Or a, oh my gosh. A crepe. Definitely would want this as a crepe. That looks good. Thank you. This is interesting. I'll have to think about that. The only other fruit that I am aware of that is different is slush fruit. And I don't think we've even discussed that here. That's way up in the north. Very, very cool. It was such a pain to do in large amounts. I got one at a farmer's market, and I loved them so much I used it as a cake topper. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. I love that. Having both side by side helps not confuse it with banana, but I don't know how that would work. Well, I mean, that's kind of how you... That's kind of how you would just put them on dessert anyway. You can have a whole strawberry and a slice of one. I kind of like... I have to make sure we save this. I'm gonna have to create... at some point, we're gonna have to have a bestiary. We're gonna have a, not a cookbook. What's the... field guide? Field guide. I think we need a field guide at some point. Slush fruit? Is it like a coconut but the milk is a slushy? Kind of? It's frozen region. It's like if you could... How do I describe it? It's kind of like softer than a melon and cold. And sometimes people use it as a dairy substitute. Canonically, the Stargazers figured out which mushrooms were edible by forcing Daho to just eat all of them. And the field guide was made from that info. Yeah, let me see if I can, describe, slush fruit. It's kind of like, it looks like a snowball. It has like a white cap top here. And the inside is like a bright... It has like a... How do I describe it? It's like a cold region thing. It kind of looks like a tomato, I guess, is the best way to describe it. And you can sort of cut it open. And it could it's hard enough where it could serve as like a coconut. It's not a bomb! It's not a bomb! Jeez. Isn't that one of those berries in Pokemon? Are you thinking of an oranberry? Oranberries look really different, I think. Also, this thing is more of an apple size. But you can cut it, and it's kind of like a coconut. Except the inside is still blue. And only when it's basically, like, churned is it going to get more of, like, a lighter consistency. So it's like a coconut, but soft. It's, like, weirdly soft. I don't know how to describe it. Sound off who's on the berry tasting team? I volunteer Daho. You try the starberry with this perspective? Oh! You see that? Like, I see what you're saying. Like this? Also, sorry, Amortox, I'm getting a little bit off topic. I'll go to your work soon, I promise. I think, like, I guess this? Like that? Armatox posted an updated attempted fix in work in progress. You might want to go off that one as well. Oh, okay. What if the strawberry was made from 5 cones connected together? That's kind of what I had. A little bit slimmer. Well, it would still be round-ish, but I kind of had that. Maybe I just didn't illustrate it very well. But, like, I can't really... I can't really illustrate it well. Alright, let me look at the work in progress in Sketch. Oh! Oh, wait, okay. I still can give you advice on one thing, but you actually fixed the majority of what I was gonna point out. Alright, you're seeing more of it in 3D now. That's good, that's good. Alright. Okay, in that case, let me jump over to the, to Armatox's thing real quick. I wasn't expecting to be drawing the food right here. Alright. I feel sudden intense desire to cultivate starfruit with a twist that I'm sure you can guess at. Moving on. Alright, so this piece is armor talks, and I think, okay, this makes a lot more sense than what I saw before. So I think the main thing that I want to articulate to you, and this is something that is really, common to learn perspective with, but I think you mainly got it. So if we're thinking about, like, the perspective of the ground here, right? I won't go too complex. I'll keep it fairly simple here, but you mainly you have the part here that makes sense for where it is. And instead, and I think this is mainly what will help you, Armatox. When you're trying to do the line art, establish the structure of the object first. So what I am saying is, like, don't add all the stuff to the shelf first. Just draw it as a box. Like, just draw the box first, and then figure out the angle you want, right? So you want it a little bit, you don't want it in the simple perspective, you want to sort of tilt the perspective. But draw it as a box first before adding all your detail. And if you draw it as a box, it'll be really, really easy, and I'll show you why. So, the one thing you should try doing is also try to figure out your horizon line. If your character's here, I'm guessing your horizon line's about here. Establish the box shape. It's gonna go back, which you have here. And then this line that you have here, do you see how you kind of have this line here and then going down a little bit? It would still have to follow the line of your wall corner here. A little less so, right? Because if this is your horizon line, it's going to be making this sort of situation, and it's pretty subtle, right? And then it's going to be going back upward for that perspective. So you're still gonna have this perspective from top to bottom. This perspective is going to create a bit more of a obtuse angle. And then finish off the shelf so that you're sure that it's on the same line. And then you can start adding your details. And then you have this part here with the shelf, which is good, but you have to make sure that you are still adjusting it gradually, right? You don't want to just go from straight to curved. You want to have like that in between, that sort of angle flow, if you see what I'm saying. Is that making sense now that I've kind of drawn all over it? What? I'm 95% sure this exact blue apricorn exchange has happened in this chat before. What? I read the stream title and somehow I find a perspective class. How did chat derail this time? Hard to emulate? So the best way to emulate it is the way I showed it here. You have your wall, and you know your horizon line, right? I mean, let's just say that's your horizon line. And you have your wall shape here and here. So then, instead of trying to figure out the angle from top to bottom, let me get rid of this so you can sort of see a better sense of this. Instead of trying to figure out your angle from top to bottom, because that is going to confuse you, if you just start trying to, like, gradually move it here, you're going to run into issues, so break it down a little bit, right? What is the halfway point between this angle and this angle? It's probably going to be about, let's say, here? Let's say about here, right? That's your halfway point. And then here. Halfway point between this angle and this angle is probably going to be about here. Maybe a little bit lower, right? And then when you do that, then you can break it in half again. And then if you need to, you can break it in half again. And you just keep breaking it in half for those angles, and it'll go much, much smoother that way. And then you can get that gradual effect. It's actually probably, if your horizon line is here, this is probably not as curved as I thought. But you still have to show that there is some form of curvature, because if this is your horizon line, there still needs to be, it's not a straight line, right? If this is your horizon line and your shelf is above your horizon line, it can't be a fully straight line. But it probably won't be super subtle. You just have to have, in some form, you still have to have an obtuse angle, right? Not a straight line, it's still an obtuse angle. But hopefully that makes it easier to understand in terms of emulation. When you're trying to do the shelves and things, just keep breaking it down in half, and then in half again if you have to. It's with an O. So, obtuse angle. As opposed to what you had here, if I remove these, is you had kind of a straight line that was going down. But if your horizon line is here, and I'm basing it where the girl's eye is, and maybe she's shorter, I'm not really sure. I don't really know what your height perspective is here. So that's sort of something you'll have to determine, where your horizon line is in the beginning. But then once you figure that out, then you can kind of figure out how you would lay out these shapes. And again, when you're doing this project, instead of adding all the shelves and ornamentation and everything, just start off by drawing a simple box. You will be a lot happier first. Just get your basic shape of the... Just get the basic shape of the cube. It'll go a lot easier. Really, most things you can break down into basic cubes. She's a kid at this time? Okay, so in that case, she might have to actually be shorter. I guess you really have to decide, like, how tall the shelf is. Because if it's kind of here randomly, that's a lot of ceiling height. Unless this is more like a bureau, in which case it would probably need to be shorter. So you sort of need to figure out, like, the shelf in relation to the girl and what type of shelf it is. If that makes sense. Perspective is a very Cartesian aspect of art. It's not a very fun part of art, and I mess it up myself a lot here too. I'm sure that somebody working at, like, you know, Blizzard would look at these and be like, oh, you did this wrong, you explained this wrong. Because they would probably go really into the nitty-gritty. I'm just trying to get the general idea down. We'll continue to work on it? Alright. I think you're almost there. I think that your work in progress, from what I saw before, is very, very good. It's one of the few things I'm okay-ish at due to my CAD background. Yeah, that's true. Honestly, if I was smart, I would learn Blender specifically so that I could just lay these out and not have to draw them by hand and try to, like, internalize it. I would just do it in Blender and then use it as a base, which is what most of the working famous artists do. I mean, that's why when we review the Arknight skins, I'll sometimes be like, oh, I can tell they put a 3D model here. Yeah, it's something that, like, it's so annoying to learn, but it would help in so many instances. If I was smart, I'd learn Blender too. It's not an easy thing, and it's really time-consuming, and it's really confusing, and it has a lot of barrier to entry that throws a lot of people out. I don't know. I still think you should focus on the pixel art thing, personally, but that's just me. Start with a big cube and subtract, that's so CAD process. Really want to learn Blender for 3D modeling, but yeah, I gave up. I don't think I'm going to be touching Blender anytime soon, but I still really want to go and get back into 3D sculpting. Modeling, I've never been good at. Modeling is confusing to me, even though that would really help if I need to do environments and backgrounds. But I really, really want to get back into sculpture. I mean, that's where I really have fun, is sculpture. I would love to get to the point where some of the content that I'm making could be like chibi sculpture of Arknight's characters who don't get enough love. That kind of thing, you know? But yeah. Anyway. Hopefully that is helpful. So, alright. We're sort of, where am I going? I think we figured out, like, a mainly good idea with the sub-badges, and it's sort of just gonna be a matter of refining it, I think? Still have to figure out what I'm doing with the cake. I think I will change these to starberries. But I am trying to still figure out if there's, like, any other tweaks I need to make. I can't think of any at the moment. And again, I'm still trying to work on keeping the colors all similar. But alright. What about in terms of general food? I sort of wanted to open the floor and allow you guys to have fun concepting different things, even if they're not part of Alucinari. I just thought it would be fun to come up with interesting food ideas. Maybe it's something that works in Alucinari, maybe it's not. But I'm just itching to sketch food. So if anybody has any input, ideas, concepts, things... Vessa, always wanting me to draw the hardest food. I've drawn a burger before. I've done a Wendy's asset of a burger, and burgers are really difficult because of how many ingredients they have. Draw another! Okay. Starberry is gonna be your gamer subs flavor. Lillian, I don't think I will ever get to that level. I also don't fit the brand at all. Draw another. Dragon egg omelet. Oh, jeez. Is that even allowed? That seems forbidden. As a good Italian, I would say pizza or pasta. Let me see. I'm gonna zip my lips until I think of a wholesome food suggestion. You guys are terrible. You've drawn 100 burgers? Why would you do that to yourself? That's terrible. Alright. If we were to, first of all, let's... Okay, here's the thing. When you're doing concept art, when you're doing, these kind of silly ideas, the best way to do it is to not just take, you know, okay, I want to draw a burger. You want to combine different things. So you want a burger that could only be found in the jungle. You want a burger that could only be found in space. You want a burger that, you know, different things. So the best thing to do in terms of a concept art stream session is give me 2 things that we can combine together. And, you know, 2 or 3 things, you know? 3 things gives us a little bit more flexibility. Give us multiple things that we can combine that make it so that we can try different things and go a little bit out of the ordinary. There's a YouTuber that I have been watching recently, really, really smart person. She was working on this concept for a place that is like a bank, except it's all run by these monstrous bird creatures, right? And she was trying to figure out how the people would get into the bank, like if you have to show your ID, or if you had to like prevent it from being being stolen, right? Your bank info. And she came up with this idea where you'd have this card and there'd be like a frying pan and sort of like this digital print ink of an egg, and it would go over the card and sort of like show that it was the right person. I'm explaining it terribly, but the design was very well done, very clever. But yeah, it's kind of what I'm trying to explain. I don't think I'm doing a good job explaining it though. You know, Wendy's has square burgers. How about star-shaped burgers for the Atelier? Would we be selling that? I actually watched the video. I have no idea what you're saying. She had a few. I don't know if I sent you that exact one, but she had like a form of ID. It was really clever. Are we making the Atelier menu? It doesn't just have to be for the Atelier. It could be for anything, really. Even for other regions, or just not even Alucinari if we're just having fun playing around. A roast pig, except it's a dragon whelp. May Thornscale have mercy on my soul. Jeez, Lillian. I know, a sec. Armor Talks, none of that has anything to do with food. Can we put seafood on the menu? I'll go catch it if we need. I mean, probably. I have not explored any sort of aquatic regions. We're really far from it. But I know that there are Selkies, so I assume that they have some form of food trade. I'm trying to think now. I was doing Wait, the whole thing would be star-shaped? What are we saying here? I feel like that would make really hard to cut bread. What if... Okay, maybe the bread is more like a brioche? You can always have, like... I've always thought that this brioche design was kind of galaxy-like. It would be good to know ingredients we have under our disposal. That's a good question. Probably going to avoid any idea of eating very sentient creatures. I have not explored anything further in terms of the idea of a mushroom, but there might be other things in the future. I just don't know what they are. No, you cannot eat dragons! You absolutely cannot eat dragons! There might be fish, I just don't know what they look like. And I know there's probably mushrooms, and I don't know what other type- there's probably some sort of fowl. I just don't know what it looks like. One thing I'll say is, like, if there's a meat dish, it's fine, but I'll never, like, draw the head of it. I'm never going to, like, draw one of those, like, pigs with an apple in their mouth or something. Elden Ring taught me different. What if you could have like a... I was gonna say maybe 4-pointed star, but then people would just think that that's cheapening on the meat. Because 5-point technically gives you more. More surface area. What if it was like a... No, that doesn't work. Not even those funny fish head pie. I hate those! They have the worst name. It's very unfortunate. We don't talk about that. Dragonfish sushi, as in those bioluminescent deep sea things that get washed ashore after hurricanes. You do realize those are highly poisonous, right? Are you thinking of nudibranch? Those are extremely poisonous. Those are one of the most poisonous things that you can encounter. Why'd you downgrade the burger from 5 points to 4 in this economy? That's less Burke. But they look yummy. Ugh. Some people eat pufferfish, but they're so small. You wouldn't be able to... Pufferfish at least are, like, larger to prepare or to attempt to prepare. Nudibranch are... Well, I don't know. Why not dragonfish? I feel like that would be so hard to prepare. What if we bred big ones? We're gonna end up with, like, something the size of an apple versus the size of a bed, and there's gonna be, like, no in between. Wait, I can't do this. You've had dragonfish before and you're still here? Well, you're lucky, I guess. Short is the life of the fool who trusts a stargazer to prepare pufferfish for them. God. Oh, one thing that I was thinking though, hang on a sec. Wait, I did have this idea earlier. Let me put the burger bun. I don't know what I'm doing with the burger bun now. Wait, can you make a fat 4-star? Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad. You can do that. It's almost a square patty, isn't it? Ah! Wonder if there's a way that I can make this, like, themed like the sun. There's so many, like, moon and stars thing. Is there a way that you could do, like... No, I guess not. Pumpkin stew with star bread, or in a star-shaped bread bowl with some fancy greens on top? That would be, like... Like this kind of thing? Trying to think here. I guess it'd be like this, right? Like a gratin? I wonder if there's like a leaf that we could do that kind of like looks like a shooting star or something. That'd be fun. Something like that, maybe. To be flat at the bottom? Well, I can't... You have to, like, make it flat without... Wait, is this... Are we... Wait, is this bread or not? I'm getting confused now. If this is bread, then I have to make it a little bit more, curved, I think. Leaf is a good idea. I'm just thinking, like, if I had some sort of leaf that kind of had, like, a little bit of a shooting star effect, that could be fun. I feel like this could be really warm and cozy if we have the right coloring on this. Guy with a butterfly meme, but it's star gesturing to a star going, is this bread? Oh, shush. Let me see here if I had like a nice... Might make a good coloring for that. I don't know. Like this kind of thing, maybe? Not really sure how this would work, but... something like that? Can you get it as an alcoholic drink? A bread bowl? You want a bread bowl as an alcoholic drink? What? What kind of bread should it be? That's a good question. Would it be like a... What's usually used for... I would imagine some sort of sourdough? I don't know what else we'd have in there, though. Carrots, maybe? Trying to think. Have like a little garnish here on the side or something. Make it a little bit larger to fill the space. Is it bread bowl or a pumpkin bowl? Probably bread. I feel like bread would make it a lot easier. How does one make a bowl out of bread? You have a large, like a large loaf of bread, and then you carve into it. And then you can use the extra bread piece as dipping. You can have bread pieces here as well for dipping and stuff like that. And then it's like cheese and bread. It's very good. You're making me hungry now. Sorry. I can make you, again, let me see if I can make it warmer feeling. If I do this and then overlay. There we go. A little bit of that. I don't want it to look like too much like a pumpkin, but just a little bit of an extra warmth to it. See? Look at how different that looks. It exudes a warm atmosphere. The art equivalent of adding paprika. That could be really fun. I want to figure out a way to make these leaves look nicer, but the idea I had in my head is that they would kind of feel like, I kind of want it to look like the leaf is large enough to give it this shooting star effect, you know? Like, I'm going for, you can probably already see it, but I was going for this kind of look. I don't know. Maybe a different leaf would be better. I'll have to think about that. But the general idea is there, I think. Ooh, another one that I thought of. I don't know how well I would be able to do this, because this is not typically a dish that I would consume myself. But I was thinking about this earlier. If I can do it correctly. And again, I might not be able to, because I do not normally eat spicy food. But one thing I was thinking was maybe if I can do this right. If I can do like a curry dish? Having some slabs of meat here. Let me see if I can do this correctly in my head. I can't really retain images in my head for very long, so I kind of have to just go based on what is slowly being added to the paper. But if I can make these look kind of rock-like as meat, and then have this be rice, and have this be like a sauce. If we were to use various ocean material... Let's see if I can do this correctly. I'm not really sure how it would work, but essentially some sort of like... I don't know how I would get the water to work as a curry sauce, but essentially an idea of like... That probably needs to be a little bit more muted. Sort of trying to think of a sort of beachish, oceanish curry layout. Don't really know how it'll work. It's like, I have something in my head, it's just not entirely working out super cleanly yet. But I felt like something could come out of it. Just don't know what yet. I feel like if I did a blueberry, people would be very disgusted by that, so it's probably gonna have to be a fish-related thing. I'm intrigued and appalled. Put a little umbrella in it. There you go. Like, I'm trying to think of some way to make it work, and for people who normally consume curry, I'm so sorry. Put a little umbrella in it. There you go. No, I'm trying to not make it sweet. I just don't know how I would do this. You can't insult curry any more than Pokemon ZA did. Unsure about fish, maybe use crystal? The poor rice is being drowned in curry sauce. Did you want more? Did you want me to change the... I usually see pictures of it and it always looks like it's half and half, no? Do I need to change the ratio? I don't know. I don't know how it's working, but it was just an idea I had in my head, and maybe it works and maybe it doesn't. Pokemon ZA had croissant curry. The French and the Japanese were appalled. Okay, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I just don't know what I would do. The problem is, with any food that you develop, it is so hard to get anything blue. And it's like, if you want something to look different, it's just really hard to keep adding blue to everything. So I don't really know how to make it work. I feel like there might be a fish way of doing it, I just don't know what it is. You make the water red? See, I was kind of trying to avoid that, because then I don't know what I'm getting at if the water's red. If the water's red, I feel like we're sort of potentially, like, not going in a great direction. You mean a way to do it officially? Oh my gosh. Blue thistle? Would that be enough? I don't know, maybe there's a fish that would work for this? I don't know. I can't think of it. I can't figure anything out right now. Let me just at least make my plates of some form. It's like there's something here to work with, and I can't wrap my head around it yet. So I don't quite know how we're doing it yet. If you make it either more tropical blue, teal, green, or lots of white wave phone, it might be easier to figure. Maybe. If I made it more of like a... What would that be then? Well, the color does work better. The color looks a lot better. But I don't know what it is. Bought a spaghetti alla bolognese, blue tomato sauce with glitter as Parmesan cheese, and the pasta normal. Interesting. I feel like at this point we can make up any animal. That'll explain it. Fine with your idea? Not fine with the example you gave. I mean, you were literally thinking of like a bio... You know what it probably... Like, you were literally saying something like bioluminescent. Would this thing be glowing? You were talking earlier about the dragon, the nudibranch. See, what would be like a way to do this? Would our bellies glow in the dark as well? That I don't know. Trying to think of a pasta color? Well, pasta you actually can dye to any color. That's actually not a hard thing. Pasta, you can have, like, pretty much any color pasta works, and just, like, no one really questions colored pasta. That'd be one way for you to keep track of us. I mean, what, are your crystals not enough? The stream hearts listen to while I'm waiting for dinner to cook. I'm sorry. Look, at least I didn't end up illustrating the burger. Then you would have really hated me. We have tunnels for miles. We've been doing many things behind your back. What do you mean by that, though? Blue pasta with white sauce? I mean, literally, pasta can be anything. Pasta can be anything you want. In any type of dish. What type of dish are we doing here? I've seen so many different types of dyed pasta, though, so I think we're pretty much in the clear for anything. Glowing curry sauce looks delicious, not gonna lie. If you can draw fries, I'd be in trouble. Oh, well. Let me see here. I was thinking, you know, in terms of this design, right? What if you had... Well, there's probably a few different ways you could do this. Because one is to have our star, but as nuggets, and then have the fries behind it. Just sort of laid out on the table like that. That's a pretty simple one. The other one is to have, the fries themselves. How would I do this? Be like, make them longer, maybe? Make them like a ray here? If I had to make them different. Well, I also have to think about how they're made, right? Can't really cut a potato this way. Not easily, anyway. I think. You weren't talking about nudibranches, but now that you mention it, I can think of some dish involving them, or sea anemone, or maybe a Lovecraftian flying polygy. We don't even think practically we have magic? No, that's fine. It's just, it's a matter of also, like, how is this formed? Like, regardless of what you do to it, how is it physically formed? I mean, are we going to individually, like, is there going to be a really thin, spiky potato? Or are we going to, like, form a potato into a shape? Like, how are we doing this? Like, smiley fries exist as a thing. But that's a different process. What about C-shaped dumplings with various fruits? Wait, dumplings with fruits? Is that a thing? Wait, can you do that? Can you have sweet dumplings? I mean, I assume you're saying fruits. I assume that means it's on the sweeter side? I was thinking about croissants earlier. I was thinking about a cheese croissant for obvious reasons. What if the fries were crinkled, but the crinkles were shaped like stars? Wonder how this works. So when you have a... Man. It'd be easier if we were just doing lightning bolts, but I do not want to be around that. I'm wondering if there's a way to have, like, that just looks like a sword. Sword fries, there you go. Sword fries. Why am I still drawing the sword fry? Electric seasoned fries. Dumplings can have sweet fillings, though fruit is a new one. Interesting. Apple dumplings are a thing. Oh, okay. Crystal apple dumplings. Jeez. Sword fries is an interesting idea that I was trying to think of like how most fries are cut at the bottom, and then I'm like, oh, now it looks like a sword. Sword fry. I don't know how we got there. Sword fry and like a shield patty. How'd that even... Sword fry shield steak? What am I even doing with my life? Sword fried shield steak. Why am I, like, holding on to that idea? It doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. Apple pie, you can do cool stuff with the crust. That is true. Yeah. It doesn't make sense to have a million swords and one shield. Have a good day, Armatox. Thank you for stopping in. I mean, maybe this could basically just work as a fry, though. Like, I don't know how it works exactly, but... I don't know. Something about this is intriguing me, because you could fit, like, so many different ones on the plate. I just don't know how it would make sense. Panzerotti? Roti? Panzerotti? I don't think I've heard of that before. Hang on a sec. Oh! Why have I not heard of this? I don't think I've ever had one of these. Carrot starter stick swords. Wouldn't that be hard to make with the little hand chopping machines with grids that slice a whole potato one? See, this is what I was saying, right? Like, I don't know how this actually gets formed. I'm like, it's an interesting idea, but I don't know how it actually makes sense in production. Yes, we do have magic, but we should sort of understand somewhat of how things are made. To some degree. Carrot stick. That's funny, though. We would waste more potato than we use. You read that the wrong way? I think it would work. Wait, wouldn't that be hard to make those little hand-chopping machines with grids that slice a whole potato once? Wait, I'm confused. You said, wouldn't that be hard to make? Smiley fries process? See, that was that was kind of the only thing I was thinking was smiley fries. It'd be easier to just have little star potatoes. True, but... I already had them into nuggets. Oh, would not be that hard. Sorry. That is not senpai level. Come on. Wouldn't be that hard to make. With the hand chopping machines with grids. Sorry. Sorry! Oh. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to do a croissant. I'm trying to do a cheesy croissant here. I know we have to have, like, a ton of different cheese dishes, or you guys are going to, like, go crazy, so... Trying to think of some various forms of cheese croissant. Why the croissant? Because crescent moon shape. Something like that, maybe? And you could have, like, you could have a sweet and a savory version, right? You can have, like, a ham and cheese croissant, and then you can have, like, a strawberry and cheese. Or oh! Maybe that would go together well, actually. I need more room here. I have to put away the pasta dish for now. That is the wrong dish. There we go. It would be more of like a... Probably more of a cream cheese filling. Hmm? When you say cheese croissant, you mean regular croissant sliced with cheese as a filling? I was expecting something like cheese bread with the cheese built in. I mean, you can always do both. You can have double the cheese. You can have it as a filling, and you can have it as a cheese bread. You could have, like, extreme level of cheese. Dangerously cheesy. There you go. Have this on, like, a plate that looked a little nicer as well. And have this, like... These do not have to be, like, standard red either. We don't have to stick with them being red. Something like that. And then... Where is this? I just have something like this. Double the cheese, star. It is for this reason that I follow you. There are two ways to make khachapuri, open or closed. One like a bun, and the other like pizza-ish, where you have crust and can see the inside. Oh, interesting. Somehow this sort of reminded me more of s'mores before you added color to the filling. Looks cute. I'd eat the plate too. No, don't eat the- there's no reason to eat the plate! Aww. Khachapuri requires mozzarella and egg to make a filling, and from there you add other stuff. Ooh, okay, interesting. How about a banana or an egg roll with some condensed milk as drizzle, or with strawberry filling? Banana or egg? Wait, that doesn't say roti? Egg roti? Hang on a sec. Egg-filled roti. Sorry, for, in some cases I'm learning about new foods from you guys too. That does look very good. It's like, I can't- okay, it's like a cheese-filled bread as well? And normally square or triangular from what I'm seeing. It's okay, it's fun to discover new food? Yeah, for sure. Or Thai roti, okay. Let's see. I typed an egg. Oh, okay, that's- okay, I see what you're saying with the milk and the egg now. That looks very different than the other one I saw. Also referred to as banana pancake. Wait, is this meant to be sweet or meant to be savory? Or can it go both ways? Classic, banana, egg, interesting. Is it meant to be like a pancake? More or less, you need the same dough as pizza. Interesting. Okay, I think I'm seeing it. Okay, it's like a pizza dough, but also can be eaten as a pancake. In this case, it looks like most of it is being advertised as dessert. Why is there one that's like fully rainbow colored? What? I think that's a completely different dish, but it's suggesting another one that's like entirely rainbow colored. I think that's completely different, but it looks interesting, that is for sure. Interesting. Alright, hang on, let me quickly throw in my other cheese croissant here. What? Like the universe is saying something to you. I feel like I can make that look better at some point, but for now I'll just leave it that way. And then I'll just quickly throw in these star nuggets. Still don't know what I'm really doing with this, but we're just playing around, we're just having fun. I feel like this would make a really great kids meal. This would be so fun. Like, honestly, this one is obvious. Why hasn't anyone done this? This one is obvious. This isn't just an Alucinari thing. This is just a, come on, this is an obvious idea. This doesn't even take anything different. How have we not figured this one out yet? There you go. So much bread. You'd think McDonald's would have been on it by this point. It wouldn't be at a fast food place because it would just take an extra, like, 30 seconds to arrange. So you would only find this at, like, a family pub. You wouldn't be able to, like, put it on a plate and have it look all nice, so they wouldn't do it. But come on, this one is obvious. Let's be real here. This one's an obvious one. The fact that I have not seen this is quite disappointing. Getting rid of those star fried piece. I don't think this would... Well, okay, it would work if you went the smiley fry route. I guess that could be another thing. I don't know. I'll hold on to some of them. I don't know. I'm playing around with it. Maybe those would be good as, like, tenders or something? Like, when it's larger pieces? If these were larger, maybe? Or, like, strips or something? I don't know. I'll put it on the back burner. Are we talking the chicken variety? Probably, yeah. A Cosmic Cafe would be such a nice change of pace from all the hipster cafes near my office. The shape of croissants remind me of shrimp. Well, they're supposed to be crescent moons. I guess you could say a shrimp reminds you of- a moon reminds you of a shrimp too. Let me just open a cafe with these concepts then. Excuse you, are you trying to become competition? Time for shrimp moon game. That is a terrifying face. The Stargazers have started competition shapes. The sequel nobody was ready for. Why do you always sigh at whatever I say? If you haven't noticed, I've been sighing pretty evenly at every bunny. Trying to think of what else here. And you wonder why I sigh at everything that you all say. Goodness. We're gonna undercut you with our signature soul cheese. You're what? No! Going back to shaped vegetables, we can make some sort of star-shaped zucchini or pepper, stuff it with groats and other vegetables, and add some cheese on top. There you go. Like, kind of like what we were doing here, but like as a pepper, like a stuffed pepper. Also, I feel like not an egg roll, what do you call it? Do a pretty easy sushi roll in either shape here, too. Like when it's a cane and you can cut it. That'd be a pretty easy one as well. I don't think we'll be letting Cheese Moon go anytime soon. The other thing is, like, while I like those star-shaped concepts, guys, we don't have to go that way for everything. Like, this one definitely was not star-shaped in conception. There's other places, other things. Cheese Moon is 100% canon, it's actually a documentary. It's just a bad dream. It's just Prism's bad dream. Nebula Moose, then. Let me see. Be interesting. In what form are you thinking? In like a, are you thinking in a chalice? I mean, if you want to go to desserts, I can always go to desserts. I have a much easier time with desserts. Non-desserts are hard for me to figure out. But I love working with desserts. There's so many other celestial phenomena just begging to be made into food. What are you thinking? I almost wrote bacon instead of baking. Probably meant a normal cup, but a chalice seems pretty cool. I mean, if you're going in with fancy, then go with fancy, right? This glass provided by, What? That's my job, baking stars. I mean, you got these ones that can be baked. They do be the star baker. True. How does that work for you? How does baking stars work for you? What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Moose glass provided by Locked Key. So you know it has to have a bunch of very fancy patterns all over it, right? How expensive is that cup? Let's just hope none of them break. We'll probably have to have replicas for the cafe. We probably can't afford the actual ones. It's a little too fancy for our kitchen. We have some nice replicas that Locked Key probably sneers at, but nothing I can do about it. Let's see if I can do this. Hello, Stargazers. Tonight we're going to eat in a really expensive restaurant right in the middle of the universe. Let's give the Stargazers extremely expensive and fragile enchanted glassware. What could go wrong? You know. Wait, are moose the ones that you can put the, chocolate sticks in? Because I would definitely be doing that, if that's the case. I forget if that is or not. There's so much different variety of moose, too. Wait, I wonder if I can actually wait. I take it back. Maybe I don't want to do it this way. Ooh, okay, okay. Maybe like this. Hang on. I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to think of which way I want to go for this. Because there's a few different directions. Because there's like different ways of doing moose, and there's a few different directions I could go with it. So I'm seeing some with fruit, others with... Some in a cookie bowl. That looks interesting. Alright, hang on. What if I'm trying to think if I want, like, the cream top to be on it or not. And I'm thinking if I can find a way to do it in, like, cloud formation. Hello, hello, Void. Welcome in, welcome in. Potatoes or nuggets as asteroids, different sizes of meal items being organized by the sequence of stars, galaxies as combo names. What are you- huh? I'm on the edge of falling into serious world-building mode now, my interest is piqued. If we break the glass, I'm sure Newbie will eat it. Newbie's just our cosmic vacuum for literally anything. Newbie took my title as Roomba. I wonder if I could do like a... something like this. There's like different ways I could go about doing it, I think. Rainbow takoyaki? Or each ball is a planet? Interesting. We can have a mod only who makes the best trash disposal competition. Oh my... Catch, that's actually really accurate, because you've got Vessa, who's the Roomba, Newbie, who's just a menace for some reason that we don't know, and then Kaku, who's literally just, his stomach's a black hole. Wait, why do all my mods have the power to eat anything? I just realized. Vessa, why? Kaku wins this because she's Kirby but scary. I just realized all of my mods have some form of insane levels of eating everything. They can eat you if you go rogue. God. Some sort of interesting thing like this. None. For the color scheme, I'd suggest the Butterfly Nebula. NGC 6302. Whoa. Oh, okay. Very interesting. Wait, in that case, I'd want to go with, like, a different direction. What do I do if one person captured it blue and the other captured it red? What do I do if I look it up and there's two variants that are polar opposites from each other? You pick which one you like more? Great. Hmm. Alright. I've been going on this private Stardust tangent elsewhere. I think I'll post it in the Discord. Okay. That's the problem with capturing through only wavelengths. You have to pick and choose. Alright, let me see what we can do here. This might be really tricky. Alright, what if I... How'd I end up doing this? Oh my gosh. Wrong layer, Kronk. Alright, let's try that again. The different colors in this case actually correspond to different spectra being looked at by different instruments. If you're looking at the images, I think you are. Probably. I feel like I'm turning this into a parfait instead of a mousse. It can kind of be anything. Since it's a mousse, it needs antler cookies. There you go, they're already in there. And then I'll probably do a layer on top for this part. Trying to think if there's like a better way of going about this or not. I know I can't put sprinkles there because there wouldn't be any stars here. So I'm trying to... I feel like that's probably the most I could do. It just feels like it's colored differently, though. I feel like I didn't really capture enough of the idea behind it. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that it would be like a... Because of the color that it's supposed to be normally, I'm thinking I would want it to be like sort of a dark side of the moon motif. So that's why I made the crescent much thinner. And then because it's against the cream, the darker side sort of creates a decent enough balance. I don't really know why I have the sticks. I think that's just to better balance things visually. I could also replace the 2 sticks with butterfly wings? I think that would probably get too busy though, because these are thin and this is, thicker. If you had 2 half cookies as wings instead of the current garnish, maybe? I was thinking maybe, yeah. I don't know, though. Kind of go either way. Alright, let me do a paint over. And then if we don't like it, we can always just swap it back. So we'll do this on another layer. It would help if they're the right color. It would help if I didn't just hide things. It would help if I... What did I just do? There we go. I don't know how many people would get it, but... It's probably gonna be interpreted as fairy if I do this. It's gonna be like, it's gonna be interpreted as, like, Neopet's Dark Fairy. Yeah, very different feeling. Looks like a butterfly cracker. It's not easy. Maybe the wings could be fruit slices of some kind? Maybe? I had it going the other way, so it doesn't feel like it's falling. Feels like more of a tropical thing now. I think we kind of lost the plot a little. Definitely doesn't feel like chocolate now. This still gives it the chocolate feeling. And this is sort of more of like a... This is leading more like dark academia feeling, which I feel like just makes more sense for the idea of the title. If I wanted to go for like a cosmic dark moon type of feeling. You have the color in the main dish and the shape in the garnish, but for the aesthetics, the garnish should contrast the main, so the butterfly nebula identity is lost when you split it apart. Yeah, no, I get you. It's not the easiest. It'd also probably be like, if it was more... I'll try one other thing, otherwise I think I'm probably just gonna stick to the crescent. And this is also going to be interpreted as dragon wings, now that I'm looking at it. This is just straight up a dark dragon dish now. What am I doing? What am I doing? This is just a dragon now. This is just propaganda. I just made propaganda. Yay! Oh. This is just dragon propaganda now. Sorry for another one of my suggestions giving you headaches. No, it's fine. It's a good challenge. I just think I ended up making propaganda. This is like what they would serve to the royalty. Oh. This was not the direction we wanted to go. Let's go back to our moon. I liked the moon. I think the moon is nice. Alright, let's try the... Hang on a sec. At some point we'll figure out how to make the curry work. I don't know how the curry's gonna work, but at some point we'll make the curry work. I think the other thing is that, someone was saying that we needed to do a... Hang on. Where's it? What are these called? Yeah, okay. You want prism? Here's how you get prism. We need to make it more like, find someone to make it look less alive. More situational. I don't know what this is gonna be. A carrot, maybe? Let's see here. How do we do this? Alright. See if you guys can guess what it is here. Now that would probably not work. How would I do this? It has to be the level 9 patch. Let's see. What else does it need to make it more recognizable? We need to make, like, I don't know, something like this. Has no one gotten it yet? It's not an egg. Wait, let me see if anyone's gotten it yet. Let's see. No, it's not a it's not a cake, it's not a UFO. Not nachos, but you're close. It's not a cake, it's not nachos. It's not a watermelon. It's not, it doesn't... Vessa got it! What do you win? These genuinely look delicious, makes me want to make lunch. I was like, wait, I know there's a round cheese dish. What is this? And then I realized it works perfectly for this derpy face. Somehow I'll have to find a way to include her tassels, but... just have it, like... sort of carved in, I guess. Prism fondue would go hard? Wait, how would fondue work? You thought it was lasagna? We ate the tassels first. A bowl in the shape of Prism's face. Well, then that's just cutlery. Or not cutlery, that's just dishware. Alright, let me save these. This is so silly. This is so fun and silly and stupid. I don't know how many of these are actually gonna make it real, but I'm having fun just designing with you guys. So is the pumpkin? What? So is the- oh, just a color. Why do I keep saying colory? Wait, what? Now I'm confused. Yeah, I did bread for the cheese bowl, if that's the gratin is bread, if that's what you're asking. I did not do it in pumpkin form. I feel like I would either make THLPH really happy or really competitive. You're really sad right now? I don't know what you want. We don't want him to feel competitive or happy. Okay. Goodness. Yay, it worked. There's your prize. You can't have DH too powerful. Fair enough. What else makes sense here? We do still owe Vesa some sort of burger, don't we? Is there like a specific way you want the burger, Vesa? Because otherwise it's just gonna look like your everyday average burger. I don't know how to make it special. You don't have to actually do a burger. Motor oil is burgers. Oh my gosh. Is that Prism? It is Prism, yes. It's not an omelet, it's a cheese ball. I go away for 5 minutes. Cheese ball. Look, if there's gonna be anything prism-shaped, it's going to involve cheese. Or a dessert, or something. I don't even know if Prism even likes cheese, or if she's just been going along with all your antics. What if you placed the cheese Prism plate on top of the star bread bowl? It would look like Prism sticking her head out of a little sack. My gosh. I feel like that's the wrong type of cheese. Alright, Raoul, what is your silliest idea? Just do it for a minute and then move it back. Okay, fine. You're a goof, you know that? There you go. Yeah, that's not cursed at all. Alright. I want to make sure I didn't actually ruin that. What did I have before? There we go. Did I have something else? No. No. I guess we can delete these. That was the other thing. Okay. You open the AK recruitment bag and Prism pops out. Aroma colored bubble tea. Words. I'm sure there's been people who have done that, right? Like, Arknights operators as foods. Because I know there's like a bajillion done for Genshin. So I'm guessing that people have already done it for Arknights. The thing is, every time I get an idea for something that is related to Arknights, I can't look it up to see if anyone else has already done it. Because I am very, very trying to avoid spoilers, so I can never look things up ahead of time. So I know that, like, a bajillion people have done it for Genshin, but I don't know if anyone has done it for Arknights. I don't know what bubble tea looks like. I never eat it. Drink it. Whatever you want to call it. Alright. Does it have ice in it normally? I didn't think it had ice in it. I guess it does have ice in it. What do I know? I never drank bubble tea either, as a matter of fact. I just said bubble tea because aroma funny. Normally get it without ice, but it's highly customizable. Alright. I feel like ice just probably looks better visually. Just for an illustration. There's just more textures and different stuff going on. That's normally how I would decide that kind of thing. Quick question, if you drew an Alucinari version of your OC, where would you put it? Do you mean a Stargazer? I don't know what an Alucinari version of your OC would be. I am only familiar with Stargazers. And that's a really specific design criteria. So I'm not entirely sure? Huh. Yeah, if it's a Predator OC, then I would say just the regular art channels. Alright. Now, let me grab a picture of Aroma. I know I can safely look up a picture of Aroma. I've learned that. I can safely find a picture of Aroma, that's no issue. Alright, how would I do this? This one's gonna be difficult, of course. Alright. I will do more Arknights operators as food if nobody has done it before, but I kind of imagine it's been done to death, because I know it's been done to death with Genshin. At the very least, I'm sure there's already a million of Asusie. Alright. Ooh, oh, ooh, okay. Let me try... Can you make, like... Hang on. How wacky can you get with their design? It seems kind of limited, but... Can you do anything weird with bubble tea? Alright, you can put stickers on the cup. That's not really what I'm thinking of. Okay, you can mix it with stuff. Okay, you can mix it with stuff. I like how you basically just said I know aroma is unimportant and inconsequential. No, that's not what I was trying to say. Never forget that Star once googled mountain expecting to see mountain Arcanines. Why do you still remember that? Oh. Alright. Let's see if I can mix this. I wanted to try to see if there was a way to do like the braiding, but... How can I not remember? You can have mercy on me. Yeah, I guess I'll just like mix it. I guess I'll probably just mix it this way. I don't know how else to... Well, I guess just like every anime cafe, right? You just add a quick cardboard cutout of whatever else you need. So... Just add a quick cardboard cutout here. Oh, I'll make it have like a band across it. That could work. And then... That could just be a sticker. That's fine. That's fair. How else do I do it? I'm gonna go now, see the result when I wake up tomorrow morning. Alright, thank you, H's. I think we're pretty much, like, at a point where I'm just goofing around at this rate, but have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. For me personally, just putting a picture of a character and then call it themed is pretty lazy. A lot of pop-up cafes are unfortunately guilty of this. I agree. I think that it should absolutely be like, you should try to invent something. I'm just now realizing that the straw needs to be a bubble wand. Rare star ADHD brain moment? What do you mean? How would I do this? How does this physically work? It doesn't. It's gonna have to be in the bottom. It's the stirring stick. No, that still doesn't work. It's a straw. You're supposed to drink out of that. That's a great point. Yeah, well, I have to find some way. Look, it's a straw and she has a bubble wand. There's gotta be some way that I can do this. It would be kind of sad if I had to forgo this extremely fitting visual somehow, just because of the nature of the actual product. Look, I was just thinking that they're like similar shape, okay? It's not often- I'm trying to avoid the thing that THLPH just said. I'm trying to come up with a way to be clever. I'm trying to be smart about it. Make the wand add a little thing to the end so the liquid will go in a circle. But it's bubble tea. It doesn't have to be like really... I see what you're mean. Make it like a bendy straw, but also like, will that work? That's not gonna work. Would that work? That's not gonna work. I believe in you, stir. I believe you can be smart. Thanks. The bubble wand is how you make the boba. I think what I might end up having to do is just, like, add it as a motif on the bottom here. Because then if it's, like, around the circle, then it's still, like... Think about it. If it's on the bottom, and you have the straw, then it's, like, it's technically still there. It's just kind of warped. You see what I'm saying? It's there in my head. It's fine if you can't tell. It's fine if you can't see it. A cup holder? I mean... Do that too, yeah. Maybe that would be more obvious. What even is her bubble wand? Is this just wire? Like, how is this even being made? What is this made of? Aroma! How is this made? Magic. Look, if I get to the point where someone knows who it's supposed to be, that is really all I need. So 99% of these drink things are just based on, does the color match and is there a motif or two? But I agree with THLPH that I really hate when the cafes are lazy about how they do the designs. I think ears are okay, but I don't think you should just get a PNG of the person. It's probably wire. Ugh. She doesn't have a character sheet. Oh, jeez. I have the PNG. I'm just looking at this and I'm like, this looks just like... It looks like barbed wire without the barbs. That's what it looks like. Alright, I'll add, this part on the straw, and it'll be like... I'm not gonna be able to be as literal as I wanted to, I don't think. But you know what? I'll have, like, some piece going around it, and it's like a decoration or a grip or something. I don't know. And then here, we can have the armband, and it'll allow us a little bit of extra color. And it'll probably just be, like, next to some flowers visually in production, product photography, all that. Why do I draw that and then it's 4 petals? Why this annoying flower shape? Alright. Something like that. You know, considering what we've been given, I think that's pretty good. So we'll do it like this. All right. Does that work? Can we tell who it is? Does it work? It's pretty cute, not gonna lie. Kind of a waste to drink it. Make this a little bit lighter. There we go. And then let's make these a little less flat. You can tell instantly? Awesome! Trying to think if there's any other element to it that I need to adjust, but I think we mainly got it. Definitely not an easy challenge here, but definitely interesting. And say make the balls look like actual bubbles to fully sell it, but I don't know if that's going overboard. But I don't know if anyone would know that it's a bubble tea then. Alright, we'll let Sim Zero be the judge of that. How's that? Can you have- you could have it in white, couldn't you? There are transparent bubbles, but I don't like them. Can you have it in white? Does that work? If you just make it into bubbles, I don't think it'll look like food. Now it just looks like pearls. That's what it would look like as transparent. You can do transparent. At least, if I do transparent, it's less harsh. Transparent works? Alright, there you go. Crystal boba. I mean, if we were doing that, I'd make the whole thing into a completely different color. There we go. Aroma boba. It contrasts better with the black headband? I think so too, yeah. Aroma boba. We did not intend to do this today. But I'm fine with it. I think it's good. I think the only other thing that I'll do for contrast is I'll just add some leaves in the back here. That's a nice little extra pop of color, I think. Aroma boba's fun to say. You're making an executive decision? Aroma boba is now being sold at any and all rail stations in Alucinari. Oh my gosh. Aroma boba. It's fun to say! It's so silly, but it's fun to say. So completely overpriced. I mean, if it's a cafe, then probably. Now I want to, like, do a bunch of research at cafes that do it better than the cardboard cutout style. Try to gain some reference inspiration for that. You know who does a really good job with it is Pokemon. Pokemon does a really good job with their cafe, I think. Where they actually try to make everything sort of look like the Pokemon. Or at least feel, like, be in the same vein as the Pokemon. I think they do a really good job with it. But yeah. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Did we have a fun, silly time inventing different foods and things? I'd drink this for $10 once. I think that's the best you can get. Alright. Is there, like, what do you guys think that we should consider for future stuff like this? Probably ingredients. I should probably get a better idea for you guys of ingredients. But what else would help with this kind of thing, do you think? Cheese croissant looks so good, I'm gonna make some grilled cheese after this. I'm honestly tempted to as well. Shame I couldn't make for it earlier on stream, but it was fun. I'm glad. Yeah, I mean, look, you got an aroma drawing out of it, so there you go. Very fun, very silly. All the food looks delicious. I'm now hungry. If you guys want to, like, keep discussing this thing in Alucinari chat, too, like, be my guest, please. I think we should, maybe tap into this a little bit more later in the future. I will finish the sub badges. I think I'm at the point now where are we pretty much, like, set where the sub badges are? Ignore the fruit. Ignore the fruit. But are we, like, pretty set where the sub badges are for the most part at that point? Because if so, I'll probably just do all the cleanup off stream where I can just... I'm not good at doing cleanup on stream. So I'll probably do the cleanup off stream. Or if there's any other indications or things that you want to mention about it, feel free to. Knowing more about Alucinari's flora and fauna can help with food design. Yeah, I think so, Yeah, I think so. But yeah, if there's any comments or suggestions or things you want to make, you can always do it in Starlight chat or in the Alucinari chat. Not understanding the question? Do you mean expanding the culinary background? At this point, I'm just sort of, like, opening it to whatever. If we wanted to add other food, if we wanted to add other food, if we wanted to think about different items and things, I'm just sort of trying to explore as we go, and I think it's fun to do it on stream because a lot of you guys are really, really clever. That's pretty much where I'm going with it. But I think we will call it there. One question, what kind of brushes are you using? I mainly did all of the work today using a brush called Kuro ink by the YouTuber Kuroshiro. And I think I threw the brushes in Creative Cafe at some point. I will try to find the message in the Discord. But if you type in if you search Discord Kuro, you'll probably be able to find them. But yeah, alright. And with that, I will see you guys Tuesday, where we are continuing the Solis Holiday. Remember CSP Long and Daily. Thank you, Vessa! I appreciate you! Alright. Thank you, Stargazers. With all that being said, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you may be in the world or the worlds beyond. And well, thank you so much and all the best.